It's all falling apart. Streamer stuff.
Help.
Yeah.
Classic.
Clap, clap, clap. Anyway, guys, as long as we're just having the conversation, I think everyone will be okay. I'm here because of Giant Meat Man. Let's go. I think there's someone in here who knows you, Steaks.
Aw, that's one of my largest donators and
Hey, there
my
you
biggest
go.
haters.
Oh,
Look at that.
well,
He likes to see me suffer.
as long as they can hear you all properly, I think we're okay. I'm not gonna lose my head over this. We're just gonna keep going. So, let me get these questions pulled up because I had to move things around. So I'll just ask, and each of you can just kind of answer these questions. If you have an answer, if you don't, that's okay. There's 5 of you, so this will probably flow pretty well. So I'll just start from the top. If you don't have the document open, I would suggest doing so. That way you can just see the question yourself. So how did each of you plan what you were going to do for the event? We had a wide variety of stuff from music to speed runs, high-level skill challenges. What made you decide that was the right thing for you to stream? And how was that going to be the best event you could provide for ASAN 2022?
5 Church Dad, you decide the order.
Agreed.
You go first, Stakes.
Ah, damn.
There you go.
Stacy went first.
Crap. I did Doom Ultra Nightmare, Doom Eternal as my challenge run for the event because unlike all of the other extremely skilled and talented and creative individuals, my one talent is video games. So I decided to do something that I fully regret doing, which is the hardest challenge in a video game where if you die, the entire run starts over in a game that is potentially anywhere from 10 to 12 hours long.
I loved that run, by the way. It was so much
That
fun.
was super fun to watch. It really was.
And then I added a fun little stipulation where if you donated a certain amount of money to the event, that I would restart the whole stream, which I emphatically regret doing. But
Did you happen to keep count of how many times you had to reset?
so we did have a death counter going, and luckily the entire stream was only 7 deaths.
Wow.
Because I was shockingly doing better than I thought and getting pretty far on each run, but there's no bigger punch in the gut than getting really far and then someone going, "Here's some money, start over."
I was
Smile.
going to say, I remember there was a moment where, like, you would just get sent back, like, maybe 30 seconds in, and because people just kept donating. Like, I remember that happening, I think, at one point where you got reset, like, 3 times within, like, 5 to 10 minutes, and I was like, he's never going to get past them all, is he? Like,
I never even left the tutorial area sometimes.
Oh, it was so good. But yeah, so you wanted to do Doom Eternal Nightmare runs, which I love Doom Eternal. It's a fantastic game. Who's next? Why'd you choose why did you choose to do old school RuneScape? When I was watching it, it was just like, okay, I don't understand half the language that you're using, and I used to play RuneScape. Like, you were doing some high level stuff from what I could tell. How much work went into that?
Yeah, there's a lot, and for anyone not familiar with old school RuneScape, I'll try to be as brief as I can while communicating the relevant information. So I was playing an account which cannot trade or basically benefit from other players in the game. It's basically single player RuneScape. Mm-hmm. And as well as that additional difficulty, it's a 1 life account, where if I die, I lose my hardcore status.
Oh, okay.
And in this event, so I'm a max hardcore Iron Man, which is the game mode. Right now, there's only 197 max hardcores in the world that have achieved the highest level in all the skills without dying. And I hadn't done this quest yet, which is the hardest quest in the game. There are 2 mechanics from the boss that if you don't react to the mechanics properly, they can 1-hit kill you. So I was playing an account with, at the time I think I was over like 7,000 hours of game time doing the hardest quest boss in the game with 1-hit kill mechanics. So it's quite a Um, like the actual mechanical difficulty is not as hard with this boss fight, with where my count was in the game, but obviously it's a lot of nerves, and it's a really big deal, right? Because if I screw up on two different types of attacks, I could just die. So that was something that I had been planning for a long time to do anyway. And of course, when we're talking about stuff to appeal for the charity event, any of these harder quests that I've done have always been like everyone wants to see them, right? So it was something that was very easy for me to choose to do. It was something I wanted to do for a while, and yeah, it was definitely a very cool and fun thing to do. It really brought in a lot of like my clanmates, friends in the game, other streamers. Everyone wants to see a maxed hardcore do Dragon Slayer 2. So that was, yeah, I mean, it was a fairly obvious thing for me to do, in a sense, if you're familiar with that game. But it's also incredibly nerve-wracking to be doing that.
It seems like it was very high risk, high reward, because you said it's like the hardest quest in the game, and you only get one shot. You don't get to just respawn in Lumbridge, so it's like, okay, this is it, so I'm assuming a lot of prep went into that, and the chat just lit up when you actually completed the quest. It was insane. Like, everybody was just sending in emotes and everything. It was awesome. Hoser, what made you decide on what you chose to do? I believe you did Fall Guys, right?
I did, yeah. So like Steak said, I'm not fortunate enough to have amazing talents like some of the the folks here showcased. So for me, it was all like this whole event for me was about the community, right? Like everybody coming together to play games or to watch somebody achieve something. And my channel is always about community, like just bringing everybody together. So I thought, what better way than to get some folks into some Fall Guys and play, maybe some newcomers that were in the chat. Hey, you know what? I play Fall Guys. Let me jump in and play. That way they felt a sense of being included within the event, not only just watching from the outside, but also partaking in the games that we were playing. So that's why I chose Fall Guys. And it's just always been such a good hit on the channel. Everybody typically loves to play some Fall Guys on community nights. So I figured why not incorporate that, because it just brings a sense of what the community is all about, is, togetherness, really, is what I see it as and what it's becoming. So I figured Fall Guys would fit in perfectly.
And Church, you had two segments, right? You had the concert and you had the Halo 2 speedrun. What made you decide on having a concert? Like, how did you reach out to BZ for that? And how long did it take you to get down the Halo 2 speedrun? Because that is a difficult game to learn how to play.
Yeah, so I thought it was important to actually have a concert in our event because, most of in-person events are usually around music, so I figured incorporating music on top of everything else would give a little wider range of variety, but also make it something special for the event itself, because it's not like every day that we're able to sit there and have a concert. So I've known him for quite a few years, so it was just getting the timing down and figuring out that, getting together and just kind of having conversations to figure that out. Now, as far as the Halo 2 speedrun, the reason I picked that is because Halo 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. I love sharing that game with others. So beating the game in under 2 hours was kind of my overall goal. And I started at about 3 hours and got it down to 2. It took me about 3 or 4 months before the event to get it actually where I was comfortable doing that. But it was, I think it turned out. And I kind of picked that because speedruns is something people do enjoy watching. So I want to do some content that was good for everybody, essentially.
Do you remember what your final time was for Halo 2 for the event?
During the event, I think it was an hour and 48 minutes or something.
So you were aiming for 2 and you beat that by about 12 minutes. That's freaking awesome, dude.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. So did any of you guys end up streaming something else, or was what you all did your original plan? Were you I don't know if I can pull this off, and you decided to change your mind, or once you were like, this is what I'm doing, you just stuck to that, and you were like, I'm going to make this work. Stakes, we'll start with you again, and we'll just go in the same order.
Testing? Okay, sorry.
You're good.
Mike was having some troubles. Yeah, so I was planning fully from the beginning to do the Doom Eternal Nightmare runs because it was something that I did a long time ago. I did Doom Eternal on Nightmare, which is the same level of difficulty as far as damage multipliers, number of enemies, etc. But when you die, you can go back to the last checkpoint. Ultra Nightmare is just the next step up where you have to fully restart. So after I beat it on Nightmare, everybody was sort of saying like, okay, yeah, you beat it on Nightmare, but now you got to beat it on Ultra Nightmare, and that was kind of an ongoing meme in my community. And so that was the sort of reward for my viewers was, oh, you think you're so tough, you think you're so good at video games, do it on Ultra Nightmare. And I said, all right, well, that's going to be what we're going to do for the event. And I'll prove you guys how good I am at video games. And needless to say, that has not been proven yet.
Have you played a lot of Ultra Nightmare since? Or is it one of those things where it's like you're just going to try every time you do something like that, where it's like the chat can reset?
I've done a lot of off-stream practicing just to remember a lot of the levels, because the biggest help that I realized in the run was remembering where they're spawning, so you can take out half the enemies the moment that they do spawn. Because there were some runs where I was getting pretty far that ended up with just me dying and not getting reset because of donos. And it was just because you get overwhelmed so quickly just because the enemies start spawning in little by little, and you're overwhelmed if you're not immediately taking them out. So I will eventually do it on stream again, but I think I want to be able to have a good chunk of it memorized before I give that another shot.
There you go. Witch, what about you? Did you have any other plans maybe for old school RuneScape, or was Dragon Slayer 2 the just be all end all for you for the event?
Oh yes, I did have a backup. Obviously, Dragon Slayer 2 was a very risky thing.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the big things that can get you killed is if either Jagex's servers are having issues, like if the servers were wonky during that time, or if my own internet was being wonky, right? Because if I got a few second lag at the wrong time, could mean that I'm going to, get one-shot kill. So I did have backup plans, and mostly for those events, right? If I was going to suffer from internet lag or anything else. So I did have an alternate account that I was like practicing for months ahead of time, but especially like the last few days to make sure like, hey, my internet's doing okay. The servers and everything are cool. I had plugins like watching the ping of the RuneScape servers and stuff like that. So I did have backup plans available if those issues came up, but I'm really glad they didn't, and I got to do Dragon Slayer 2 for this event.
Hoser, what about you? Did you have anything else besides Fall Guys in mind, or was that just the perfect game you thought for basically doing almost like a community night for ASAN?
I think from my channel perspective, it was just the perfect fit. I've never really done speed runs, and I'm not too into like solo player games. So from the beginning, I just felt like the event was something that I wanted to incorporate the community into. And Fall Guys just fit the narrative across the board. There wasn't anything else that really came up that I felt would replace it. So I just rode Fall Guys through.
There you go. And Church, what about you? Did you consider anything besides a Halo 2 speedrun, or was that just like the thing that you had been grinding out and you were like, no, we're doing that. This is what it is.
Yeah, that's kind of how it went. That's just what I really wanted to do, and it gave me like a goal to complete it. So that's kind of what I went with.
All you guys were like, no, this is it. Like, if I have a backup, so be it. That kind of leads into my next question. And Church, this one's probably more for you since you helped plan the entire event. When you deal with a large group of streamers, you had 10 of them, sometimes there can be unforeseen consequences, like say there is an internet issue or somebody has to drop out because they're sick or anything like that. Did you guys have a backup plan in case someone couldn't make it to the event? And if so, what was the plan?
Yeah, so each of us took like an emergency backup, like couple hour segment throughout the night, or throughout the full 24 hours. So if someone, say the internet went out or they didn't have power or they couldn't make it or whatever, we were able to fill in pretty quick. So It's just good about getting together. What we did is had a meeting, like I think it was just the day before, the 2 days before or something, and we all set up like a backup schedule. So like, hey, so if someone can't make it, then this person will step in, kind of things like that.
I'm so glad that you said that, because the last thing you would want is, say, someone has a storm and lightning strikes a generator and, oh no, we've lost power. You know, like, that's the last thing you want to have in the middle of an event like that.
Yeah, that almost happened with Hoser.
I
the
know.
hurricane.
Hoser was dealing with the hurricane, so I was thinking about that while I was watching. I was just like, oh, what would have happened if Hoser like had to end stream, or like he lost power? You know, so I'm glad that you guys had something in place, because that is something that you don't want to have, but if you need it, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it, you know?
Right.
So my next question, and this I guess is for all of you, what was your personal favorite moment from the event? Whether it be something that happened in your own segment or someone else's. Steak, we'll start with you.
So to be a little bit greedy, it was a moment of my stream, but pretty much the entire time I was very much being on the I wouldn't say pessimistic, but I was kind of lowballing. I was like, yeah, I'll be there for a good extra streamer. I'll be there for moral support, but it's not like me or my community is going to really get anywhere. We're not a big dono stream channel community, right? We're pretty small and really tight knit. I thought, yeah, we'll be there. We'll have fun. We'll fill some time and contribute best way we can. And our own stream ended up raising quite a bit of money and contributing to the whole event. It really shocked me that, wow, I honestly did not expect that, at least from some of my viewers, just because I've sort of built my entire community around, me and my viewers sort of just trash talking each other and, just having that fun back and forth camaraderie of, for lack of a better word, shit talking each other. But it was shocking to see that many people from my own community show up, show out, viewers that I haven't seen in a long time show up for it, donate and contribute to something that really did matter and had a very impactful, moment overall for the entire thing. I thought it would be, tiny, small, little nothing extra add-on, and it ended up being pretty big, so I was pretty proud about that.
It's awesome, man. What about you? Favorite moment from the entire event?
Yeah, I was thinking about this one, and I think I'm going to cheat and go with two.
Okay. That's fine.
Obviously, doing Dragon Slayer 2 on account that I've been playing this account for 5 years, got a ton of time on it. Obviously, getting that done, like on stream for a charity event with so many people, kind of like Steak said, like there's so many just like friends and people that came out to support the event that will catch stream sometimes or just hang out and game, but it's just like almost everyone was there, it felt like, and it was just such a big deal, and it was such an overwhelming like amount of emotions when I did it. I was really just like overwhelmed and just so like happy and so full of success and everything there. And really, the other part is two very big streamers in the old school RuneScape community. Both Molly Music and Potatoheim RS were doing like a partner stream of they were doing content together, and they double rated my the charity event during my stream right before I started doing Galvek, which is the final boss of the quest. So right shortly before that, there were two big raids, and it just was really indicative of the support of the community and everyone else for the event, to have two very major streamers come in.
That's awesome.
To support and people that I really like to hang with and game with. So that was super cool. Definitely up there with even finishing Dragon Slayer 2 on an account that I've considered doing Dragon Slayer 2 for years now, right? And yeah, no, that was very, very cool moments for me.
Hoser, what about you? What was your favorite moment of the entire event?
So I also cheat and have two answers for this.
Okay.
Because I couldn't pick one that I enjoyed more than the other. The first one was the fact that you saw the same names supporting from the top of the 24-hour stream to the bottom of the 24-hour stream.
Yeah.
Like, had me full of emotion. Like, your name was literally in every single person's stream throughout the entire 24-hour event.
You weren't gonna see me skip anything, bro. I was gonna be there. I told y'all.
But like that, just that part of it, like, you know, for all the planning that Churchy put into this and for what everybody else put into this event, like, to see the support from, you know, the top of the hour to the very last minute was just wild. And it wasn't just your name. You know, there were so many names that were in the chat for every single stream. Like, they felt the importance of the event, right? So whether they were able to donate, not donate, they were there for the entire event, supporting with the viewership, the positivity. It was really neat to see. But then my second favorite part was right at the end. Like, all of us streamers got in a chat and just kind of reminisced over the entire event. We just talked it over and had a few laughs and, you know, just kind of got to enjoy the outcome of what all happened. And then on top of it, a $1,200 donation hit, like, as we were all in the Discord together, like, almost just wrapping up the event for us was just incredible to witness, to see, you know, what a group of, you know, 10 individuals, 12 individuals can accomplish. It was neat to see. It was awesome.
Elf, what about you? I haven't gotten to really ask you much, but did you have a favorite moment?
Beep beep, Elfbot here. Sorry. Yeah, I actually forced myself to go to one directly. And my favorite part about the entire thing, the event, was actually somehow convincing Hoser to add on to his makeup stream if there was so much money. I'm sorry.
That was fun.
I still don't know how I did that.
And Church, what about you? Did you have a moment that particularly stands out for you that you'd say, this was my favorite, like, this was the moment for me?
So I'd say, like, the whole event itself was pretty awesome, but I guess my takeaway from it would be all the friendships that were made.
Yeah.
So since I kind of put this together, I knew everybody a little bit on a personal level, but these people in the event kind of didn't know each other. And now that the event's over, what I see is everybody in this group is going into each other's streams, saying hi. Like, we did a Halo stream together not too long ago with Hoser and Stakes. Like, it's just really cool to see, like, you never knew this person, but now you do, and they might just be a really good friend. So I guess my biggest takeaway would be the friendships that were made.
Awesome, man. I love hearing that because you guys are a really tight group. Now, I try never to talk about money in general, but my next two questions do involve the amount that was raised. Did you all even think you were going to come close to over 5,000? Because that just blew me away. Like Hoser said, you guys got a $1,200 donation at the very end. And I remember waking up around that time because I passed out like right near the end of Church's Halo 2 speedrun. And I wake up and I hear you all just celebrating. And I'm like, okay, something big just happened. And I check Twitch chat and it says that there's a $1,200 donation. And I was like, okay, holy shit. Like, what? Did you guys expect that level of success? Because that was just insane.
Not at all.
Church, what about you?
I guess my goal was about 2,500. I figured we'd raise a little bit because we have pretty good communities, but yeah, that $5,000 or 50, what was it, 55, 5,600 something? Yeah. That was insane.
Everybody else, I can't imagine even getting half of that. Like, if it were me, I would have been like, I'll be happy if we could get like 1,000. That would be really cool. And then it's 5 times that. More, actually. What was the grand total? Do you remember?
Let me pull that up because I have the document right in front.
56, 87, 39, I think.
56, 37, 89. That's insane, guys. I'm assuming the $1,200 donation was the largest. As Hoser already pointed it out, I think unless there's one that you all can think of. That was by someone posted it in my chat. Who?
Tannis second account.
Tannis' second
Yeah,
account
that
was
was
the
by far the
$1,200 donation. Man,
Yeah, it was.
did you guys end up reaching out to them by chance for that donation? Because $1,200 is freaking huge.
I did. He's somebody that came across the community about a week prior.
Wow.
And he just jumped in, donated, left, and he didn't even respond to my thank you message that I sent out to him via Twitch. So I don't know, but I've tried on a couple occasions. Have
any of you guys been able to reach him at all, or?
I have not. No.
Wow. Just a
So
random
I
act
did
of
reach
kindness.
out to him.
Okay.
He didn't really want to talk about it. He just said that if he did win anything, to go and give it to somebody else, and then he ended up going and blocking the whispers. So he feels like a very personal person.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think he just did it because of the love of giving.
I love that. I feel like that's why you should do it,
it's amazing. Sometimes you see people donate like that, and then it's, hey, I want recognition, or I want this, or...
Yeah.
No, he just didn't want to be bothered. He's like, I contributed. I did what I could do to help the cause, but wild.
Well,
oh yeah, because
no, you go ahead. This is a conversation. Don't.
The plan was to go and give extra game keys or stickers to those who went and donated the most. That way, we could go and show the love back to them that they gave to us for the charity event.
Mm-hmm.
So there was no way to go and get that stuff to him. So at least going and shouting him out like this is a way of going and showing him love. Yeah. We love you. Thank you.
There you go.
So
to sort of add on to that, I know that a common issue with a lot of bigger donators to larger streamers have, or at least have talked about, is whenever they, give these large donations to bigger streamers for whatever charity stream they're doing, what they find is a lot of other people are like, oh, this person has money, I'm going to go bother them and ask them for money. Oh, donate to me and my cause, and let's be friends. Sense. It's like, the old tried and true tale of people wearing masks when they go pick up their lottery winnings is because they don't want people to know they have money, because then you're just going to get people bothering them all day. So this person was probably like, oh, that's a great cause. Here's money. Don't tell people who I am. Goodbye.
Fair enough. That's actually a really good point.
Makes sense.
So my next question, how did you all plan, giving back to viewers? Like, who came up with the idea for, Steam keys and, any of the fun donation incentives you all had? A lot of you guys did Bean Boozled Beans, which I'm a fan of using. But how did you all come together on all of that? Was there a meeting of being you should do this to make people want to help donate more towards a certain cause? And do you think that had a certain amount of impact on certain people's segments, or not at all?
I do. I think so. We got together in the beginning there, and we each had our own individual goals that we just had to tell each other so we could track them on our tracking sheet there. But then as far as the overall goals, so Steam keys and stickers and stuff, so Alphine came up with the sticker idea, and I thought it was genius. It was kind of an inexpensive way to show support to the people that donated to us, and then they could have something to take away, that they can hold in their hands from the event. But yeah, and as far as the Steam keys and stuff, it was just us getting together and each of us donating a little bit of money to Humble Bundle or something like that, which is nice because we're actually donating by buying these keys and then donating the keys while we're doing the donations. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it all just comes back around, right?
Right.
So, with that, I guess my next question actually is going to be directly for Elf. This is the only question I have for the mods, so take all the time you want. How did you all... Because I know that it was you and Butters, and how did you guys determine how you were going to look at chat? Did you take breaks? How did you power through 24 hours of just straight monitoring chat? Because there was not a single time that I could tell where you guys had to get on to anybody or anything, and maybe it's just because people were there and they realized, hey, this is for charity, but you guys did an incredible job managing everybody's chat. How did you do it? You know, like, did you take breaks? Were you like, I'll make sure to pay more attention to this one so you can take a break and maybe get a nap or go eat food or whatever? Like, how did you guys communicate through that event and make it run as smoothly as it did? Because it was incredible.
Actually, neither me nor Butters really took a break other than going and grabbing food and going to the bathroom. We were there for the full 24 hours.
Wow.
Mods
At
are
one
gods.
point,
Joke.
No kidding.
We would-
It just blew me away, like how well you guys handled it. So, no break, all gas, no break. Freaking incredible. Everybody
she was
at
drinking
work.
energy drinks. I had Mountain Dew. But we were going and taking turns between who was going and writing stuff down and who was keeping track of chat. So it was a back and forth thing, and it got to a point where, and I'm sorry, Butters, I have to say it, we got slap happy and just started joking around half the time.
It's like 3 in the
It was
morning.
very funny.
It's 3 in the morning.
being in
Church is on the
voice
great
chat.
journey. You know. Yeah, it's fine.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Which what were you saying?
Oh, I was saying, like the mods and the other streamers that weren't currently live, like especially towards the end of the event and stuff. We were doing some chilling and voice chat and trying to help out too as we could. But it was funny listening to them towards the end of it. Very slap happy.
There was a lot of that.
Sorry.
So
Well, the other part of it was that while we were in chat, we would let the streamers come in because some of them might have been nervous or just needed a moment to breathe before they went live. So it was a chance for them to relax and breathe and get into the flow.
there you go. Yeah, no, like I said, you guys did awesome, and there's no other mods I would want for an event like that. Like, you guys just handled it incredibly. I know that you followed up with me a few different times for just different stuff from giveaways and stuff. You guys handled yourselves very well, and you should be proud of the way that you guys managed that.
Agreed.
We
Couldn't have
tried.
done it without those two, for sure.
I agree.
For sure.
So this next question is for all of you, and I feel like this is probably my personal favorite question that I have. How do you feel this experience has helped you grow? Whether that be as a content creator, as a person, together as a group, how do you feel that it has helped you? And we'll start with Steak and we'll work our way around.
So my biggest sort of takeaway from it was kind of reiterating on the point I said earlier, which was, my expectations were, if you set your expectations low, you'll never be let down. So seeing what could be accomplished when you're setting goals through the roof, like Five Church was doing, and going after them with full force, as well as communicating and coordinating with such an expansive and talented team of people, you can really just achieve the absolutely unbelievable and unimaginable. So it reiterated the point of just, no longer going with the flow and doing what's comfortable and normal. It's go after those big achievements, set those high standards, really think and believe to go after what you previously couldn't achieve, because who knows, you might actually achieve it. And in all reality, it's not like you're losing out if you don't, because you just have that high expectation for yourself and you can really put forth the effort to accomplish amazing things.
How do you feel the experience has helped you?
I think this has been touched on and a few other answers from other people for a similar thing, but I think it's really a community and team-based friendship and growth in just all those personal relationships and community aspects, right? This was very much a team event. Not only was it streamers in all the schedules, but you had the mods involved, of course, in supporting us streamers, doing a whole lot of the admin work and a lot of that. You had other streamers in the event that weren't currently live, helping out as needed or could be. We had tons of different learnings and how we all improved our own stream. We set up stuff like the wheel for everyone. Like the wheel to spin for stickers and the game codes, that was something I think new to almost all of us, if not all of us. So really, there were a lot of relationships that were grown, friendships that were made, and I think it really shows that we're all better as a team than any one of us could do individually. Like, there's no way, for example, my Dragon Slayer 2 event, if I had just done that on my own, there's no way it would have been anywhere near like the quality and had the whole kind of community aspect to it.
I love what you said, that we're better together as a team than we are on our own, and I think that is just so true. I love that. Hoser, how do you feel the experience has helped you grow?
I mean, it's piggybacking off Eileen and Stakes here. It just shows you what a small group of people can accomplish in such a short amount of time, with a little bit of teamwork, right? It shows the importance of a community. Forming these relationships with these people. I would have never guessed that. I've been on Twitch, 11 months now. I would have never thought that something like this could occur. Like, I would have never thought you can just pile 10 people together and raise $5,500 for a cause within 24 hours. And I saw Raven mention it in the chat. I've met so many amazing streamers along the way. Like, everybody who partook in this event had a very unique skill set. And before this event, I never really knew these folks. And like Church said, I formed friendships with the people that are part of this event that I would have never done so prior. Like Stakes, I played some Halo with Stakes, like Churchy said. I talked to Eileen way more than I ever have prior, and Zambi. I got in touch with Zambi. She helped me make a few emotes. I learned her artistic talent. She's amazing at what she does. So I've just met so many incredible people along the way that I will continue to cherish friendships with throughout my journey here on Twitch, and it's all because of this event.
Awesome. Elfling, what about you? How has this helped you grow in any way?
Beep beep. It helped with teamwork, communication, organization, time management, and the love of people. Beep beep.
Church, what about you, man? This was. I'm sorry.
I think you want to explain the whole elf bot. It's almost like it's kind of like an inside joke.
Yeah, go ahead.
From this event, right? And get that reference out for everyone.
I'm sorry.
No, I
loved it. I love your.
I love it. Please explain the joke. I want to hear it. I'm here for it.
So in Mello's stream, his Nightbot wasn't working. So I had to fill in as the notice board of, hey, this is what's going on. These are the streamers. This is the event and the time frame. Hey, please do donate. We are here for the love. Let's have fun. Stuff like that. And I just went into a full Elfbot 2.0. Beep, beep. Welcome.
I love
beep,
that.
Beep.
That's hilarious.
And as I was going and messaging people for the rewards, they're like, thank you, Elfbot. So it just kind of stuck with me now.
I love it. I absolutely love it. It's hilarious. Church, what about you, man? 10 months ago, you started playing in this event. How do you feel it's helped you grow?
I guess it gave me the confidence to show that a couple of mom and pop streamers can get together and really make something amazing, honestly. So it gave me the confidence to be able to try maybe doing this again in the future sometime. And then also, it was really nice to stream in front of a larger audience because I really don't get that kind of audience on my stream. So it kind of gave me a little more confidence for like a bigger group too. So that was kind of nice.
Well, I've got just two more questions. Any advice that you all would give to other streamers planning events like this? It can be however serious or funny you want it to be. Any advice at all? Steak.
I would say what I think helped most with the event was all of us having a very open mind and really facilitating a proper channel of communication. It wasn't just, okay, one person do everything and then that one person will tell one other person to do everything else. It was all of us putting in ideas as time went on. Hey, what if this happens? Oh, what are we going to do if someone's internet dies out? What are we going to do if this, doesn't work out? Or how are we going to plan around this? And do we got backup plans for this? And, it was, okay, all of us, let's plan for a call here in a week so we can all introduce each other and get to know each other a little bit better so we can play off each other's personalities. Okay, next week, let's all meet together and let's practice setting up the wheel to make sure it works perfectly on everybody's streams. Oh, you've got that problem? Don't worry, that person already solved that. It wasn't just one person bringing some people together and giving us a schedule. It was Five Church getting us all together and saying, I need your guys' feedback. I need your ideas. I want your creative input on everything so we can all work on this and all make it work so successfully. That way there's no stone left unturned. There's no issue that we're not prepared for. The whole thing went off without a hitch because of Five Church leadership, and having him set up that type of community within our own communities just was absolutely bar none to the best possible thing.
Which, what about you? Any advice you would give to anybody doing an event like this?
I would encourage as much, maybe standardization is the wrong word, but the collaborative type stuff, right? The fact that we all had the same wheel that was consistent with everything, and we had stickers and game codes from that as a reward, and that was like a constant throughout the event, right? I think that shows like the camaraderie, the teamwork, everyone kind of like Stakes mentioned, we got stuff together, people had problems setting it up, but someone had already set it up successfully or like figured out how to fix it, help everyone else out. But it also brings that kind of like community together for the event, and it starts to feel that you take however many streamers, whether their event's a few or it's 24 or whatever it is, and it brings them together and it feels more like a unit. I think as many things that you can think about for doing collaborative stuff like that is going to be helpful.
Awesome. Hoser, what about you? Any advice you would give to people planning events like this? Anything that you took away from it that you would like to share?
Sorry, my mic was muted. So obviously everything Stakes and Eileen said is very important. My main takeaway from it and advice I would give is start early and promote often. That's, I'm pretty sure most of us had the command set up in our channels months before the event took place. We would !event in the chat once, twice, 3 times a stream, just chatting it up about it. I had folks come in a month before, 2 months before, like, hey, when was the event again? I saw it in your last stream, but I just don't remember the time or the date. I think that and that's with any event that you're hosting on your Twitch channel, but I think that Churchy and everybody putting together promo material early enough for us to start posting it on socials, posting it on our channels, was very, very beneficial to the event. And again, outside of the amazing suggestions that Eileen and Stake said, I feel the promotion piece is very, very important.
Okay. What about you, Elf? Any advice you would give? You have a unique position being a mod. Like, anything you would say to a mod or to anybody just planning an event in general?
If you notice that you have your own weakness, find somebody else who has that as a strength and run off of each other.
I like that. In church, you were helping plan an event, and you helped bring all of this together. Any advice you would give as someone who has put together an event like this, 10 months in the making, huge success? Any advice that you would have?
Definitely take your time. Pick the right people, like Elfling said. Just kind of go off each other's strengths. Really plan it out and make sure that you have the right team. Go in with an open mind always, because you might think you know something, but then once you get in a group of people, somebody might bring up something and be like, "Oh yeah, that's really smart." And then also promote. Make sure you are promoting it often, as often as you can. Try to get some artwork, whatever it might be out there, just so people know. And like Hoser was saying, I mean, people would come in the week prior and be like, "Oh, when's the event again?" Even though we promoted for months, but people forget. That's just human nature. So the more you can promote the event, the better, I think.
Yep. And this is my last question, and I'm just going to ask Five Church directly. Are you going to do ASAN 2023?
We are very excited to preliminarily announce that ASN 2023 is going to happen. I'm very excited for that.
I can't wait, dude. You guys already did so much this year. I cannot wait to see what you guys have coming down the pipe next year. I'm going to go ahead and give all of you a shout out. Everybody's names are going to be in chat right now. Chat, please go follow everybody. That is not just the people who were in the podcast today. That is also everybody who helped with this event. Please go give them a follow. They are all amazing, remarkable streamers. And thank you all for being here. The floor is yours to promote anything that you're doing. And we'll start with Steak.
Well, I would say that I don't have an initial project that I'd like to promote. I would put all of my promotion points towards ASAN 2023.
There you go. And if that's it, that's fine. Witch, what about you? Anything you've got going on?
Actually, I'm putting together a few stuff for goals and setting and everything for 2023. My next big achievement in the old school RuneScape end is working towards. I recently got top 100 rank in every single skill in Hardcore Iron Man. I'll be working towards top 50 is in every skill is my goal for 2023, as well as Dragon Slayer 2 was a dangerous but a relatively short and not terribly complex boss fight. It's more about combating nerves and getting that practice in. There is content in the game called the Inferno, which is safe content for hardcores. I will not lose my life doing this, but it's effectively the most difficult player versus monster bossing content in the game. Takes most people usually several months to grind a successful run and completion of the Inferno waves. So that's my main bossing goal in 2023, and as well ASAN 2023. I have no idea what I'm going to do next. There's not really another very dangerous boss for old school RuneScape. I'll have to figure something out. But yeah, that's what I got going on in the near future.
Hoser, what about you? You got anything coming down the pipe soon?
So not to take any, light off ASAN, but we are currently through the rest of November running Movember charity, raising funds for men's health, mental health, suicide prevention, testicular cancer, prostate cancer. Currently what I'm writing on the channel through November, so a little less than a week left. That is currently what I'm pushing on my side, and other than that, nothing but getting ready for ASAN 2023.
There you go. Elfbot, what about you? What do you got going on?
Well, as soon as I get done with my personal matter, which I'm not going to get into, I'm going to get back to regularly streaming on my Xbox and hopefully at some point earn a computer so I can join with the streaming next year for ASAN 2023.
And Church, what about you? Anything immediate in the near future besides ASAN 2023, or any other thing you would like to share?
Yeah, so I'm actually doing Movember with Hoser and Briggies as well as Rowie, so we're doing that until the end of November. But then other than that, just kind of planning out streams and then planning out what we're going to do for ASN 2023.
Well, I will for sure have you guys on again as we get closer to ASAN 2023. Thank you guys all for being here. You guys have been great. This went about an hour. Thank you all. And I look forward to the next one. You guys were awesome, and I know that you guys are going to kill it. I'm willing to bet that chat is going to be determined to do even more than what they did last time. So you guys got your work cut out for you, but I know that this group of people can get it done. So thank you guys for that amazing event, and thank you all for coming back and talking with us again. Thank you all so much.
Thanks for having us on.
Of course, man.
Thank you, Jittery. And I want
Thank
to
you.
say before we leave too, I don't remember if this was talked about. Jittery did do an interview with Hoser and Five Church beforehand.
I did.
To help promote the event. So he was not only an integral part during the 24-hour stream, but he did help promo and support and everything.
I wanted to try to do whatever I could to help because I do believe in the cause, and it meant a lot to me. So anything that I can do to help, I am just a Discord message away. But yeah, thank you all. And if any of you aren't busy, we're playing Mario Kart right after this. I'm going to be switching scenes and getting that all set up. You all are more than welcome to join if you have the game. If not, I totally understand. But that concludes the third episode of Conversations with Jim.